Welcome back to The Perspective. Still with me is Mr. Rimawan Pradiptyo, and still discussing on the new palm oil bill draft. So, Mr. Rimawan, as we spoke a little bit earlier, there's a lot of problems with the bill. There's a lot of problems with the draft bill. What are some of the things that we can do to change it?
Yeah, I think in my opinion, the first thing, the optimum level of doing this, for the sake of Indonesian, welfare of Indonesian people, is how to stop this bill in the first place.
Okay.
Yeah, we stop this bill in the first place, and then we start back again to the academic paper, and we start to drift this in terms of the industry, how to do the industrialization of the palm oil.
So you think it's more effective for us not to only change it where we stand right now after 3 years of deliberations?
Yes.
We shouldn't even try to speak to the House of Representatives about changing some of the things in there. It's more effective, in your opinion, to stop what we're doing and restart from the beginning.
Because in terms of the materials, 60% of this bill, this draft act, is actually mimicking to what would happen in the existing bill. So there is no point of creating,
in terms of prioritizing and how soon we need this bill, we don't really need it as fast.
We don't need it really fast. We don't need it. What we need now desperately is how to build the downstream of the CPO product. And then how to increase the value added, and then it will, it will improve the economic of the.
Well, what do you think are some of the things that the House of the legislation body can do to encourage corporations to focus on the downstream?
Yeah, I think what they have to do. I think with this draft act, there's nothing they can do anyway. They have to stop this and then they start from the scratch again. Because if you're still working in here, then the problem is that your academic paper is actually prone to supporting some of this draft act, which is in a way is not quite correct.
How do you think we can persuade the House of Representatives right now, who are currently in deliberations of this draft bill? What do you think are some of the things that we can do to persuade them to stop and restart?
Yeah, we need to push. We need to publish to people and disseminate to people what is our benefit of having this draft bill, and what is the alternative of, for instance, having a different bill which trying to pursue the development of the downstream, for instance. So we can see the benefit. Which one is more benefited than the others? Do we need it desperate now for this? For the the draft bill
for the new draft bill?
Yeah, for the new draft bill. No, actually we don't need it. And there's another problem is that if the plantation, the palm oil thing, that the plantation for palm oil require new bill. Then the question is that what would happen with the other commodities? Because they will ask other commodities may act, we need another draft bill. That's more specific, and that is getting difficult, for the government to govern on this.
Let's say the draft bill does pass, and we have both the plantation bill and the palm oil plantation bill.
Yeah.
How does that work with each other?
Well, that will be problematic because, for instance, in the Ministry of Agriculture, they have they have some section in there that's dealing with all of the plantation. Now, if you're trying to put that, all of the plantation, of course, that division is based on the current bill. Yeah. And if you have only a bill specific for palm oil, then they have within that division, specific directorate or anything that based on different legislation.
They so it actually complicates things.
That will create, miscoordination. That is complicate things.
Well, what's some of the how was it perceived? How was it received by the public? How was it received by corporations and businesses in palm oil? What are their thoughts on this?
Well, I don't know. I mean, for the people, I mean, this draft bill is actually is not that popular. We haven't heard a lot of the explanation to the people, and in terms of so we don't know as yet, how the reaction from the industry,
reception from the industry itself.
Industry itself. But I think the industry is the one who will be benefited tremendously.
Exactly, because looking from the bill, it looks like it benefits the industry a lot.
So I don't think they will say no for this. Yeah, I don't think they will do that because they are the one who will get almost all of the benefit. Yeah.
Right. Well, I have one final question for you
Yeah.
before we close this episode. Where do you see the palm oil industry in the next 10 years?
Well, I think I see this is a good achievement for the palm industry in a way that at the moment they produce a lot. We are the highest producers and everything. But then we need to think further. Not only stop in now, just only working on the plantation, but we need to push forward to the downstream. I think it will be sufficient for us now to say that stop opening new plantation now, because we already have the biggest production.
Producers.
Yeah. So what we need to do is to push forward to the development of the downstream industry of the CPO, and that will create a lot of benefits to Indonesian people.
We've actually highlighted a lot that Indonesia is like one of the biggest, the biggest producers of palm oil in the world. And yet, in terms of revenue that we get from that, we make less than Malaysia.
Yeah. Well, this is the problem. One is because of the downstream problem, and the second problem is about the tax.
Right.
Because only based on KPK research, they said that only 6% out of 70,000 entrepreneurs that pay tax. The rest is not paying tax. It's just only 4,000 out of 70,000.
Out of 70,000?
Yeah.
Only 4%?
Yeah, only 6%.
6%.
Yeah, who pays taxes. The rest, they don't pay tax.
Well, what are some of the things that KPK has done about this?
This is actually this is how the KPK works. Actually, this is they found this this fact, and then of course they communicate with the Ministry of Finance about this. But this is from the prevention of the corruption side from the KPK who produced this report. Okay.
Were there any like programs or something that came out of this report? Because this is a big, only 94% of the industry itself actually pays taxes.
Yes,
I assume that there would be some sort of action taken by the government. The public reception on this. What that has been like? Yeah,
the KPK has a national program, national protection program on natural resources.
Okay.
Yeah,
natural resources.
And that's since they've done it since 2011, and now they work from theme to theme. There's a different theme in different year.
Okay.
And I think in 2016 they work on the plantation, palm oil plantation, and that is the one that they found.
Oh, that was what they found.
Yeah, but that's what they found. That's based on their research, basically.
Well, okay. So the KPK was able to found this.
Yes.
And they present it to the world.
Yeah.
To the government, basically. But were there any actions taken against these companies?
Well, we don't know as yet. It depends on how the government should do.
But they have this information.
They have this information.
Right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Rimawan, for joining me today on The Perspective.
Yeah.
Join us next time on The Perspective for more discussions on issues within the country itself.